Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the
Boys and boys, welcome. It's Monday night 6:30 to the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Boylesports, principal sponsor of Birmingham City Football Club. We're here tonight for an hour and a half, and we're going to talk about recent happenings and developments, and sometimes we've got a very special guest with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Bo has decided to make an early appearance. Here she is, little baby girl. There you go, off you go. I'm going to kitty cat. We're joined tonight, we've got a dream team. I'd call it a dream team. We've got the chairman of the board, Mr. Alan Morton.
Evening.
And next to him, we've got Chris Browne.
Good evening.
Craig Courtney.
Good evening, all.
That was Dixon and Doc Green, wasn't it?
Oh, you told me to mix it up last week.
Oh, you said 2 words this week. We'll probably get a grunt next week out of you.
Only if
Hello,
you're
only Mr. Rowe, my old mate Mark Adams.
Hello, everybody. Good evening.
Very special guest in with us tonight. We'll find out all about it very shortly, ladies and gents, girls and boys. Claire Giblin.
Hello, good evening.
Well, yeah.
You're used to doing Zooms, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Claire's a teacher, ladies and gents, girls and boys. A teacher. That might prompt something to do later on. Who knows?
Okay.
Who knows?
Oh, we could do, yeah.
Okay, right. Now, I've seen some really disturbing reports and messages on Facebook over the weekend about the people that protest. And you've got a right to protest. You have got a right to protest, right? You do not have a right to run onto a football pitch, okay? You don't. You don't. And you certainly do not have the right, when the stewards are chasing after you, to jump into the disabled people's area, right, and put people at risk, not only of serious injury, but also extreme fright. That's wrong. That is not the way we act at our football club, right? 2022, protest by all means. I haven't got a problem with that. Don't have a problem, because we live in a democracy and we're allowed to protest. Well, some people are allowed to protest. It's getting a bit worse week by week, day by day. But to jump into the disabled area, mate, that's out of order. We all know where that area is. You know where it is, right? And these people are not only vulnerable, but like so many of them can't simply even walk to get out of your way, right? If you want to protest, please do. Find another way other than seriously upsetting our disabled supporters. End of. Alan.
So, tell you what, can we come back to this, because
I'll go, Chris. Then.
Can we go to the game, because there's lots of questions on the actual group regarding that, and we'll come back to it.
Yeah, of course.
Let's go to the game. Let's go to the game.
I'll start on the game, right?
I beg your pardon.
Oh, it's all coming out. Oh.
No, Nick, I'd starve.
Yeah, well, we can agree with that. Yeah.
We've talked about the effect the ground, the situation with the club has on our performances. But if you allow a player from the opposition to stand on the near post without anybody anywhere near him and head a corner in, it doesn't matter whether there's 10 or 10,000 there. You know, that's just not acceptable. No excuse for that. We got 4 blokes in our defence over 6 foot, right? Including the goalkeeper who's about 6'5".
Yeah.
And yet this guy gets a free header. I travelled 7 hours to get to that match. Got there at 10 to 3, and by the time I finished my cup of Bovril, we were 2-0 down. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The thing for me was we saw yet again a lacklustre start to the game where, well, I put it on the shape box afterwards. I'll say it again now. After the first goal, our captain should have been rounding those players up and saying, what the hell are you doing? Get your backsides into gear. Don't let that happen again. After the second one went in, he should have been grabbing the whole lot of them together, banging their heads together and saying, pack it in. You know, we are here as a team. You can't tell me that every single time that they're out practicing that those same things happen, because free kicks, corners, they were our bread and butter at the start of the season. They were the ones that we mopped up every single time. Now, we're just like a sieve. Every single time one comes in, it's leaking straight through. So, you know, I said it Saturday, I'll say it again now. The 11 players on the field have to be accountable for what they are doing. They are paid thousands and thousands of pounds to turn up and to play a game. Right, 90 minutes. That's all it is out on the field, 90 minutes. And yet we can't turn up for longer than what you've been seeing over the past couple of games, 35, 40 if you're lucky. They need to actually look at themselves. And I know it's something we'll come on to shortly, but just before we come on air, we said, wouldn't it be great if we could have some fans talking to the team? Yeah, that was a question from Gary Mander actually on the on our group. Yeah, great question. And Gary, I think it's a great point. You know, we should have the ability to stand in front of them and tell them how much it hurts. But then again, they should know how much it hurts. They're wearing that shirt, they're wearing the badge.
Question for you, Craig. Right, they earn a lot of money, right? And I don't earn anywhere near that much. So if I'm in the dressing room, giving it large, right? Was they taking any notice of me? Really?
No, I think the thing is they would, because if they really care, and this is the thing I don't get, right? So we've got 6 players that are on loan. We can only have 5 in the squad, but each of those loan players should be fighting for a spot with us now to prove a point to their teams when they go back at the end of the season. That either they're going to play for them next season, or they're getting themselves a move to somewhere else. When we started the season, we saw that. We get to the World Cup. It's fair to say we haven't seen it since. Now, there has been lots of people blaming the manager. The manager picks the team. The manager puts the tactics together. The manager doesn't kick a ball. The manager doesn't defend. The manager doesn't strike a ball going forwards, right? We did none of that on Saturday until Djukovic came on the field. Then we actually looked dangerous, but because we were playing to strengths. Prior to that, we had absolutely nothing. And I would give absolutely anything to put on a shirt and stand on that field and kick a ball for my club. And that's what every single player.
I need some examples there.
Can I
We
just
played
Claire,
them,
was
wouldn't
your
we?
game there?
yeah. Can I just say can I just say on the shape box? On the shape box, somebody's just said, Mark, who's the blonde hottie? So they must be referring to either. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So
Alan.
okay. Yeah.
Alan's the one.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Oh, Alan, Alan Watson.
Look at Nick trying to say he's got blonde hair now.
Right, Claire, you're at the game.
Yeah.
I did
Tell
have
us a little
50
bit
years
about you
ago.
first, personally. Who you are, what you do, right? Don't get out any specific details, just generalise.
Yeah, so I'm from Birmingham. I go home and away. As you can tell by the accent. I go home and away every week as much as I can, unless it's midweek, because I'm a teacher. So I do find midweek games hard, but I've followed the Blues, loved the Blues 31 years now. So that's me in a nutshell, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, right. You were at the game then on Saturday, yeah? Let's have your take on it.
I was happy that the fact that he changed it from a 5-3 at the back. It worries me about how many games he's played over his career, and you can tell because he's very much like a Roberts. He just hoops the ball up. He's quite slow as well. I thought the defensively, we were so solid at the start of the season, where literally we were keeping clean sheets, everything, but that worked from the front. And I find that, like Craig said, I spoke to Craig and I said, why isn't Deeney grabbing these players? If you are a Birmingham City fan, you're captain of this football club, you should be driving them on. You should be getting them and going, look, I played in the Premier League. This is how it needs to be. And we're not getting that. I found that Bilic and Hannibal, they've got themselves into the World Cup squad. Perfect. They've done what they needed to do. Are they going to keep trying again for us? Are these loan players looking at their next move? Because we're in January. Are they, with the amount of players that we're not going to have contracted at the end of the season, are they looking for their next move. I don't know. Is it? You can't blame Eustace. You can't, because of before the World Cup, we were all saying about promotion and, oh, look where we are. It's the players. Now, they're going obviously paid however much money. That shouldn't matter. It should be, you're paying for Birmingham City. You're playing for yourself. And like Colin's defending and Chong just standing there. I mean, Bakuna's given the ball away week after week. Just do the basics. That's all you've got to do. Do the basics. When we were really good with Rowett, Monk, we did the basics perfectly and we were good. Unfortunately, we're not doing it now.
You teach children at primary level.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you taught those children something fundamentally and completely and utterly wrong, and your headmaster gets word of it, and you get hauled in front of your headmaster, what do you do?
Well, you'd rectify it as much as you could straight away, wouldn't you? So
right,
I noticed.
What would he do as your manager?
What would he do? Talk to me and say, this is the problem. How can we make a solution for that problem? So all of them know where they're going wrong. It's obvious, we can all see it.
Because a problem, Claire, and you'll know this through teaching, is just an answer without the solution.
Yeah.
And it is, right? And you've got to go and find out what that solution is to put the problem right. And then once you've rectified that problem, it never happens. It never. But we're now leaking this every single week. Yeah. And it's simply not like we were looking just a few weeks ago. Excuse me, I'm going to get put tomorrow. We were looking at a few weeks ago of potential playoff places. Now we've just dropped. Is it 15 points?
Yeah.
15 points. Take that into consideration. Yeah. That for any Birmingham City side is a disgrace, an absolute utter disgrace. And I just think the problem, I don't know, Craig, I think the problems are deeper than just the team and just the manager. It's the ground, the stadium, the situation, the owners, and it's just a horrible. Oh, mate, I have hardly had a good word to say about Birmingham City on this show in 11 years. 11 years, Watto. You were just a mere teenager then.
Yeah.
Could be put down to some of the
I was just retired.
Who's going to be put down, Alan?
Hello, I'm back.
Some of what goes on can be put down to the stadium. However,
Of course it can.
I go before Christmas though,
I don't know.
and as Claire said, we were all singing the praises of Eustace and the team. Right, the atmosphere for me hasn't changed from prior to Christmas. Right, we had no atmosphere in the stadium despite the fact that we were winning games. So it can't be put down to that. We didn't have the bottom tiers open, so it can't be put down to that. It's down to the 11 players that are out on the field. And they've got to be brutally honest with themselves. Do you know, as far as I'm concerned, the window's open for another 8 days. If they are not interested in playing for Birmingham City Football Club, get lost. I don't want them there. I don't care how big they are, because nobody is bigger than the club. Or if they don't want to play for the shirt, they don't want to play for the badge, goodbye. Good riddance. Don't care if I don't see you again. But if they want to sweat blood for the badge and the shirt, then I'll applaud them. Even if they lose, I will applaud them for trying.
Of course.
But
And
I
that's
can't
what
do
we
that
could
at the
do
moment.
in the beginning of the season, wasn't it? We were running through brick walls to get at teams, yeah? And now
That's it.
it's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to turn up and take my money and...
It's what we said. It's what we said last week, though, Nick. I honestly think some of them, couple, did want to play for the World Cup, and now it's been and gone. They've just lost interest.
Yeah.
I really do.
And I think just going back to atmospheres as well, Craig, I think you're right. There hasn't been an atmosphere down there for a
Not since I was
long
back in the
time.
80s.
You know,
It's been a long time.
a long time. Just maybe...
Away games, there is an atmosphere.
Oh, it's fantastic away games.
Away games different, yeah.
And it's like a different world. It's like a different team. It's like a totally different club when you go away. More people prefer to go away than they do prefer to go to home games, and that shows a lot.
10th of December 1973, I was a little child, And my daddy held my hand up the Coventry Road with the old Kingston bingo. Well, Alan will remember it because he's old.
Yeah.
Opposite was the bus station.
I just,
And then all those derelict, war-torn houses opposite that up the Coventry Road on the right-hand side. And he walked me through those gates at St Andrews. There, I promise you, I fell in love that day, and I've never, ever lost that love. But you know what? I don't have the heart at the minute. I don't. And I've said this for a few weeks, guys, haven't I? Yeah. And Claire seems to have gone.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
I don't know what happened there. It just went disappeared.
Yeah, I keep mine went a minute ago.
I'm literally losing my heart to go. And if I can't, right, but I will after the show read the text from my son, who was up the Gilmerrick Upper. I'll read them texts after the show. I can't read them on air. I cannot, right? And that's my son. And he was my dad. And his daughter goes, that's 4 generations.
Can I just add a technical thing that I haven't seen him in the flesh for 3 or 4 months. I certainly haven't seen him on a Saturday for that long. This business about having 6 loan players and can only play 5. It seems to me that the choice is now Cadra or Longhello, right? Now, the problem is we actually need those 2 in the side. And it looked on Saturday as if Trusty and Cadra didn't know which way to go. They were bumping into each other. And as much as I like to see the 4-4-2 to get back to basics as we all want, it means having back 3, 2 wing backs, which obviously would include Longhello, and we then can't have Cadra. And Cadra, albeit 10 minutes of action, looked our most dangerous player. He disappeared after 10 minutes because, as I say, they didn't seem to know which way they were going. And that's got to change. Somebody has got to make permanent, even if it's only a 6-month permanent, like we did with, so we can pick everybody who's in the squad.
Yeah.
Now, it's just it may be a small thing, but I don't know. It just looked disorganised in the first half. We got it a bit better in the second half, but we still couldn't get the ball to Cadra. You know, he stood on the halfway line, scratching his backside for most of the second half. Give him the ball.
Is this a coaching issue, or is it a player? Look, these players are highly tuned athletes. They are, right? And their spatial awareness and one thing or another, they've all got it. I haven't. I never had it. I've got 2 left feet. Can't help it. That's me, right? But these guys play football professionally. Yeah. Now that is a word, a really, really interesting word. I am a professional footballer.
Okay. Put yourself into the opposition manager's shoes for a minute. What are you going to do to combat us?
High press.
Just be still on Claire.
Yeah. Keep Chong quiet. Keep Hannibal quiet. Yeah. And they've got a new winger who, he might cause us problems. So we concentrate on those three players, and we nullify.
Well, Chong,
there again, it's not so long ago that we got these players in. We thought they were class.
True, but I mean, Chonga especially was appalling on Saturday. I think that was one of his worst games for the club.
We thought not long ago he was going to be the saviour.
He needs to be stronger, though. I generally think he gets pushed off the ball far too easily, and then
made out of glass.
The Kuma's the same.
Okay, so
not just just Chong, but I mean, I'll say Trusty had his worst game as well. Trusty was appalling. Yeah. Well, they all were, to be fair.
Yeah.
You'd be hard pushed to pick. Well, there was no man of the match, was there?
No. So what's the problem? Shall we just delve straight in? I mean, Stephen Cowell says the problem is the ownership. Simple as that, in my opinion.
It's fundamentally got to be the top problem, hasn't it?
The fall through on the takeover has had its effect on the lads. I'd wager that the board owners have said something behind the scenes to put a proverbial cat among the pigeons. I really like Eustace, but I think he's starting to sound like Bowyer and looking a bit deflated. Not now too, so I think it's realistic to suggest the takeover owners have deflated everyone. Opinions, please.
I agree with that. I think that Sorry, I was going to say, as fans, we were all sparkling and we were all looking forward to the prospect of a new investment and all the rest of it.
Mark, the only reason you were sparkling is because you opened your Christmas cards with glitter on them.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think you're right.
No, but I mean, you know, we were all looking forward to a possible new start, and I think the players were as well. But now we're deflated as fans, and they're deflated as players. They're just human like us. They've probably thought, oh no, they had this vision. It's been took away from them, and they're just like us. Only difference is they're on the field and we're not.
Do you think because Hannibal and that all had pictures with them, you know, like when they first came in, the pictures were with them?
Yeah.
Have they promised them something?
You know what, Claire? That's a
I
really
don't know.
Mate, that's really, really interesting.
Do you know what I mean? Because all of a sudden, it's from that time, literally, as soon as they said we're not taking over you anymore, they've all had pictures with them. Chong did, Hannibal did.
Yeah.
What's happened there?
Good point.
Yeah.
Obviously, this situation with the 6 loan players, because we've now suddenly what money we've had has disappeared. We can't adjust that. We can't suddenly say, all right, we'll give Trusty a 3-year contract, get him off the loan list, or a 6-month contract, you know, and he can do what he likes at the end of that. Then,
wherever the money came from them, though, you know.
Yeah.
Pardon?
I really do begin to question who, because the plain and simple facts are, we want new owners. Everybody wants new owners, right? Nobody will deny that.
Yep.
But we're a long way off getting new owners. And at the end of the day, as much as we detest the way this club has been run,
We do.
not 1, 2, 3, 4 years, it's 8, 9, 10, 11 years.
It's 11, Craig.
They have bankrolled us, and they continue to bankroll us. Now, I am not in any way, shape or form advocating what goes on at the club and the way things are being run. But did they put the money forwards for the signings, or was it Richardson and Lopez? If it was Richardson and Lopez, how was that done? Was it a loan? Because he certainly wasn't buying shares.
And we don't know.
You know, we know that they were putting money into the club to help us, but how they did that, we don't know. Now, our owners, as they are now, are keeping us afloat. I mean, that's the simple thing. They're keeping us afloat. They're not investing.
No.
But I think we can all look at what's being reported and hear that, you know, 3, 4 players going at the end of the season, some of which are on up to £1 million, I believe, in a salary.
Yeah.
You know, are going to drop off the books.
Yep.
Now, if they disappear, and also if you read the article today with the Richardson comments around, if he was in charge, there would have been a wage cap of £15,000 per player, right? Is that
a year?
They wish.
Who was shot? Yes, right.
You know, but Rowett did that and it worked.
Yes.
Rowett had
Is
a
that
cap.
not
Yeah,
what we're trying to do now?
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're not going to get total and utter world-class players through the door for 15 grand.
No, you're not. Who was shocked today to hear about Cosgrove being on 18 grand a year and not playing for us?
How accurate is that, though?
We said
18 grand a week.
A week, sorry, a week, a year. Oh God, no, that's my wages. 80 grand a year.
Well, that's the reason he's not coming back. You know, Plymouth are paying that now.
But is that? Do we know if that's true though?
No, we don't.
What's the source?
But I mean, but it's not far off.
But if we paid £2 million for him,
Yeah.
you're going to be on slightly higher
exactly.
wages because you've been paid the money.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
is that why he's gone and we're not getting him back? Because he's scoring goals for Plymouth. I'm not going to say he's going to be any good, but,
No.
you know, it's better than doing what Dean is doing. Dean isn't doing much, is he?
Yeah. Getting back to the owners' situation as well. Adam Welsh says, if we get relegated, hopefully the owners will leave. So will that save us all and everything will be brilliant then?
No, it won't.
No, the situation is, it doesn't matter who we get through the door, we haven't got the money to spend. You know, there's all the different things, and I know we'll come on to it, Chris, but there's loads of things being said on the shape box. There's loads of comments that have been passed since the weekend around what we can do to force out the owners to, and you know, one of those is don't turn up to games or blockade gates to stop people going in. So it makes no difference whatsoever.
Yeah.
If we don't go in the ground,
Craig, you block a gate, but you're asking for trouble. There's going to be serious trouble outside.
We've already paid for our season tickets.
Paid for
So
We've already paid. Yeah, we've already paid. So
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
We've already had our money.
Yeah.
my money's gone. You know, Claire's money's gone. Mark's money's gone. Anybody that's bought a season ticket, their money has gone. It's gone into, you know, whether that's gone into the club or the owner's pockets, we don't know, but the money's gone.
So whether we go or not, it don't matter.
I think that people who are advocating this are probably looking at the initial statement of maybe, you know, a near to empty ground. Then that has got to get back to the owners, hasn't it?
Well, how about this then, Chris? Right?
Whether it harms them or not.
How about everybody stays out for the first 10 minutes in the car parks, in and around the ground? Simply nobody goes in that football ground for the first 10 minutes.
Well, yeah.
I can't advocate bed sheets.
No.
I cannot do that. I can't do that.
No, we're not
Because
going
of
up north.
them up the road. I cannot do that. Right? But what if everybody, listen, it only works when you all stick together, right? It does. Look at the council tax riots, the poll tax riots back in the 80s, right? Look at the fact that the government was nearly brought down over the fuel strikes, yeah? And Tony Blair was shaking in his boots, his vile, horrible, filthy, stinking boots, right? And because everybody in this country stuck together. Let's go across the channel, shall we, to France?
What now?
They'll go across the channel to France.
Okay.
When they protest, they know how to do it properly.
Oh,
they
yeah,
know
that's right. Yeah,
exactly
revolutionary,
how to do it properly,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But we have to do peaceful protest. We cannot be in a situation like we were in on Saturday, right? That's wrong on every single level, right? We need to do something. We need to do something quickly. What it is, I don't have the answer. But for me, it would be everybody, nobody goes into that football ground for the first 10 minutes of a game.
I think you're right. I tell a little story that a Aston friend of mine.
Oi.
No, I didn't say that other word.
Close.
Very, borderline.
And he told me that their fans didn't like Mr. McLeish, right? And when the season ticket holders came to renew, they all refused on block. On block. Nobody. I mean, they sell 20,000 every year, and they'd sold about 8, and they were ringing people up saying, "Why haven't you renewed? Why haven't you renewed?" And they simply said, "Get rid of this bloke, and I'll pay." So McLeish went. Now, unified action. Unified. Now, they'll start. They will do that in 2 or 3 months' time. You know, get your season ticket now and get it at this price and that price. Stuff them. You know, just do not renew, and they will. That will hurt them, because you know that they're expecting £15 million in the bank before the season starts. It ain't.
That also hurts the club.
It doesn't happen.
It hurts the club and the finances and the running of the club.
Yeah, I suppose we also we tend
who's running the club?
We also
but
we also tend to forget about the 300 or so people that actually work for the Blues.
It's not gonna affect them if we don't give them the money. It's going to affect the people who work in the shop, the people who work behind the bar. It's going to affect the working class people who are from Birmingham, who are
pay minimum wage.
Pay minimum wage. They'll get rid of them first. It won't affect them because they've already got the millions in the bank.
Yeah,
spot on.
That's going to be the problem. And also, when you say about the 10 minutes on TV, you can't even see that the top tiers are full. So If we
yeah,
don't
you know,
turn
one nil
up
to
with
you,
10
Claire, 1-0
minutes to
to you, mate,
go,
I
you won't be
promise
able to tell.
Yeah, I'm just
that's a great.
roll, mate.
Yeah.
You know, you can't tell. You can't
Oh,
tell
it's,
that we're even there. That's
it's
the
a good job we
problem.
got somebody
But-
intelligent here, hasn't it?
Sky or BBC or whoever was covering that game would pan round and say,
Yeah.
"There's absolutely nobody here."
Yeah, you want them to say it though. That's the problem. Will they say it?
Well,
With-
Sky won't because they're Villa-centric, aren't they?
Well,
With-
that's
with-
what I mean. They're Villa fans,
with
aren't
res-
they?
with respect to the people that you're talking about, they have a duty, whether there's 20,000 in there or 20, to put that football match on. They have to, and they have to have gatemen, and they have to have security, and they have to have people manning the bars and so on. And if nobody turns up, they can't say, "Oh, we're going to close the club down," can they? They can't do that, and that's what I'm saying. That's the one thing, one little strand of power that the fan has got. You know, if you withdraw your funds, they've still got to put that football match on. They've still got to pay the players, still got to pay all the staff, and if it will hurt them. And if it goes on for 3 weeks, they're still going to pay the players.
Okay, so another thing.
Then we
Another
head
question.
towards an administration, though, because we've got no money coming in.
Another.
We can come on to that, Carl. Because
Yeah,
Go
I
on,
mean,
mate. sorry again, Craig. I missed that, mate. Sorry.
yeah, you mentioned administration,
Yeah,
Rod,
we'll
so
come on to that, yeah.
we'll come on to it.
Can I just say another thing is that there is a lot of talk about maybe stopping the game as well. That's not going to
That's
do.
futile.
That's
It's
not going to
wrong.
do anybody any good.
That will end in us
It's
in
the EFL. The EFL.
deep
We'll be honest, okay.
trouble.
You're dead right.
That
Yeah.
Saturday, it's going to come bounce and kick us in the backside. You know, pitch invasions. Okay, it's only 2 people, but you know we've got idiots running on and hitting the opposition. You know, they're going to look at that. And say, oh, it's Birmingham again. You know, here's another £100,000 fine. We can't afford that.
I'll tell you what. Then let's all just strip our clothes up at half time.
Nick, stop with your fantasy.
I think
Craig.
that's a good segue there, really, to the 2 young lads that did run on. I know we briefly touched on it at the beginning, but Nick, stupid. Claire, you know something about what happened as well with these 2 young lads as well. You've got friends in that part of the ground.
Yeah, like it's scary. You know, you've got a lot of disabled people who sit there. Everybody who goes knows that that's where the disabled people go. You know, like they go there. That's their enjoyment. They go every week. They go home and away. They love it, and to then feel scared afterwards because they don't. That all of a sudden they were like jumping over them to try and get away. Just isn't. You know, like. We were obviously saying Tilton and Cop people were going to we would struggle to do a pitch invasion because of, you know, the lower stands now because there isn't actually a walk to go down there.
Would you want a pitch invasion, Claire, after the Villa, escapade in the Carling Cup 11 years ago? Would you want people to invade the pitch?
No, not really.
No,
but
because
then when we did it at the end, when we did it at the end of the season, was it last season we did it? Where we did one at the end of the season, I think it kind of woke them up a little bit. I didn't go on the pitch because I'm too high. But
How high are you?
I'm next to Craig. Craig's has to hear me.
We're at the back, Nick.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
right to the back.
yeah, sorry.
But I think, you know, when you know you've got the Gilmore and you've got the family stand, you kind of know the people who are going to be in there. They're going to be children. There's got to be some sort of limit, or just think about it. You know, I don't know, but it's a hard one, really. But it's not really fair that they did what they did.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I mean that's where I've been relocated by where it all happened, and the lads are around there on Saturday. There's a lot of, obviously you see the same people every week. The lads are around there were like young, and they're acting like it's their first ever game.
Yeah.
It's almost like they hadn't had a clue what
Where
to do.
where have they all come from?
Don't know where they've all come from. We all said the same thing. We all said, like, hang on a minute, where are all this lot from? They look
Probably Claire's school.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, it was really weird. It was really weird. Really weird.
Sorry.
The kids at Claire's school are probably more educated than the idiots that run in the pitch.
Yeah, because Claire's the educator.
Do you think, though, that they're trying to make atmosphere in the Gilmerrick because it's next to the away fans? So obviously you've got the Tilton, then you've then got a section in the Gilmerrick where they've got, you know, trying to make some sort of atmosphere at that end, and then you've got the top of the cop near the away fans. Do you think that's where people are trying to go now for?
I think so.
I don't know.
So all of us, all of us.
I'm not. You shouldn't.
How old am I? I'm 31.
31.
She's old. She's old. Isn't
Me,
she?
Alan,
Looks a lot older.
Chris, and certainly Craig, because he looks quite old as well.
Oh, he's really old. Look at the state. Look at the state of him.
Even we cannot describe to you what it was like in the 70s. We cannot, right? The noise inside that stadium was. I've still got tinnitus from it now. I've got my hearing aids in.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey.
Noise inside that stadium was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I mean, early 2000s when we went to Premier League, I used to leave without being able to speak.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, and it was full, and you couldn't move, and it was just great. And you used to sing from minute 1 to 90. Now, you're lucky that anybody knows any of the words.
Just go back. Just go back to the Ipswich games and the West Ham game.
Yeah, and the Barry Friday. I mean, the Barry Fridays, like, you know, the mid-90s. It's brilliant.
But Chris, it was like that every week in the 70s.
It was. No, I totally agree.
Every single
Saturday.
Saturday. And football was only played on a Saturday. It wasn't played on a Thursday evening at 24 minutes to 11. You know what I mean? It was 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. It was, okay, Claire, don't take this the wrong way, predominantly blokes, yeah? Back in the 70s, that's as it was. I don't know, it's changed for the better. And it's great to see the ladies come on and the kids and one thing and another. It's lovely, it's brilliant.
I was thinking about this today as well, Nick, and I was thinking, like, you know, and Alan will probably back me up. I think in those days, did I support Birmingham City, hoping that they were going to win everything? No. It was the place to be. It was the place. Your friends, your family. It was a family.
It was the smell of the burgers. It was that filthy, dirty toilet at the top of the Tilton corner. You had to go down there with 5 gas masks on even to survive. It was nuclear, I promise you.
So just reversing that, I mean, do you think we've now got the Carling Cup generation who actually are expecting...
We've got a generation, Chris, who haven't seen anything happen in 11 years. 11. Take that in, guys. 11 years, yeah? They've seen nothing but negativity.
No, in 11 years, they have seen things.
Mate, no, not proper. Not proper.
Yeah, they've seen us win the Cup.
Green Rovers.
But let's go back over it. They've seen us win the Cup. Europe.
I'm on about after that day, Craig. Nothing to talk about there.
This is what I'm saying, Craig.
But and that is, you see, and Chris totally agree. That's all they've seen. You know, I look at the pictures and the videos from the people that were demonstrating the weekend, and then fair play to them, right? They've gone out, they've tried to do something about it.
You're right, it's your privilege.
Well, they couldn't have been any older than 21, 22 from the vast majority that I saw that were there.
They're all,
So these people, and the same as us, we're all hurting. But I've been through the Kumar days. To me, the Kumar days were worse than where we are now.
Snap. The kids now wouldn't believe what they were seeing back then.
No,
they wouldn't, you know.
These are also the people that wanted rid of David Sullivan, David Gold, and Ralph Gold. These are the people that I still stick by it. They handed out them out, right? They were offered a stupid offer, which nobody was ever going to turn down. Nobody, never in a million years. No. Right? They're businessmen, they were going to take it. But I don't believe that if it was handed the way that they were, that they would have left. I'd have loved, and I'll go back to it, David Gold, Ralph Gold, I'd have loved them to still be at his club. If David Sullivan wanted to go, fair enough. But the Gold brothers, I would still love to have been there. And we have to realise that sometimes you got to think that what we wish for is not necessarily the right thing.
Grass is never greener on the other side, Craig.
Be careful what people wish for.
Can I say, we had this business about, you know, we obviously increased the interest in the club when we won the Carling Cup. When we got into the Premiership first time, there was another generation of new fans, right, who expected us to spend millions on players and blah 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 blah.
And in fairness, we did. Considering the size of our club.
Do you think that we're expecting millions though? So if you are brought up as a Blues fan, do you think that they're actually expecting millions, or do you just expect
they expected Gold and Sullivan to just dip in, and David Gold used to say, "I ain't going to do that. I'm not going to do that."
But we had hard-working players anyway, so it was the ethos of the club was there. It was only we did a couple of multi-million, but we still had the core of this is Birmingham City. You're coming to a working class club.
Yeah.
I don't think we expected, like when we got Dugarry, it was like, oh, this player is like the most sensational bloke in the world. I don't think we expected, because obviously that was near my generation. I was only young then. But
when we got relegated. Poor David Gold I witnessed it. I was.
Oh yeah.
He got attacked. Yeah. He got attacked, and fair play to the bloke. He didn't let those people. He rolled his sleeves up and said, and got us back. We got it. We got back in the. But that was a nail in the coffin, really, because after that. As you say, they really wanted to get out. The other thing was that the council wouldn't play ball with them with the new stadium, etc., etc. And he went to West Ham, and London Council gave him a stadium. Anyway, that's another story. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that the generation that grew up, Premiership promotion, the Heskies, the Forcells, the Dugarrys, Melchiot, etc., etc. That's what we expected. That was their norm. I mean,
but it's also, Alan, you've got to take
fight like me.
That's actually what we got.
Yeah.
Let alone what we expected. They put the money in to get those kind of calibre of players in.
Of course they did, yeah. But it was never enough for this new generation because they were expecting us to compete with Manchester United, Tottenham, or whatever. We were lucky. We were happy to just be better than the other lot. That kept us happy for a long time. And as long as we keep our noses in front of them, everything. But then that started to go wrong. And we've got the same thing again. People are expecting us to win the Carling Cup every 4 or 5 years or whatever. Now, after 10 years of absolute disappointment, we've got a cynical group. Everything. If it's Birmingham City, it must be crap. That sort of attitude, and they come along out of I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why I come because it's part of my DNA. That I
guess is the word you're looking for. Fabric is the word you're looking for, mate.
Fabric, good. Yeah, good answer. That's
part
right.
Of your makeup.
That's right. It is.
Part of your heritage. Part of your family.
As I said, it took me 7 hours to get there on Saturday. 7 hours.
I could have gone to Florida in that time.
Yeah, you could. I could have gone and seen Paris Saint-Germain in less time.
Worth shouting out some of the comments on the, what he's as expected, a very passionate shape box tonight. We've got Nigel Mann. The problem is we're living in the past. Let's look to the future.
What future have we got though?
Is the one?
We've got no
Claire, don't go. I promise you. Is the one? I'm 61 years old. I nearly swore them. 61 years old.
He looks a lot older.
Yeah, but come on. My life is every single day. That's one day nearer. And I know it's the same for all of us, but Claire, you're relatively young. Obviously younger than Mark, certainly younger than Craig, definitely younger than Watto, and most certainly younger than Chris Browne. But every day that goes past is another day that you haven't got.
Yeah.
There's other areas and other people that are saying pitch invasions, they're not the answer.
No, they are not the
demonstrations. Everybody's saying the same thing. If you want to demonstrate, demonstrate. There are comments around the West Brom game and the toxicity that is really being seen throughout social media at this present moment. it's really not pleasant to read some of the comments, and
No.
you know, it takes a lot for me to get as angry as what I did over the weekend. But I've got to say, I read some total rubbish, and it infuriates me, to say the least. We've also got, you know, I look at it, Premier League, right? Everton. Look at the position they're in at the moment.
Yeah.
We're not in the same position as them, right? They're in serious, dire trouble. And actually, when you look at the two clubs and how we set up, arguably, we are extremely similar, and we do need to do similar things. In terms
working
of
men's
plans
clubs,
and
yeah.
the power behind it. You know, we're both working class clubs. We're both, unfortunately, and I hate to say it, but we're both up against other teams within the city that are heads and tails ahead of where we are. And I don't want Birmingham City to be like that. I want to be competing with B6. I want to be up there with the Wolves. I want the whole of the Midlands to be proud of the football that we're generating, but we're not. And we're a long way off that, unless things change and change for the positive.
Oh,
we're
come
stay a
on.
long way.
Mate, seriously. I mean, you're a multi-millionaire. Why don't you just go and buy it?
The problem, we go back to this buying of the club, right? Nobody, and this will upset people when they hear it.
I know, mate. I know what you're going to say.
Buying the club. We are not for sale. The reason we're not for sale is that BHSL, which is the holding company, hold the purse strings. They are the people at the moment that if anything needs to be bought, it's them. Then we have a way out for a full sale. But without that happening, we are 2 years away from getting rid of these current owners.
And there you go, ladies and gents. I'll probably be
That
dead.
is the problem. That is the problem.
Huge problem.
Yeah.
However, Chris, should we segue into the meeting and just cover off some of the things that we've been involved in, right?
Far away.
People will have seen on social media from a Blues Trust announcement that there was a meeting last week. The meeting last week was bringing together parties who are fan groups and supporters groups of the club to talk about what's going on at this present moment, to talk about how we can support and help change within the club. Now, the key takeaways from the whole of that session were that everybody agreed that the very first thing that has to happen is unity. Unity across every group, every area. It doesn't matter where you sit. It doesn't matter whether you agree or not with demonstrating. We all want the same thing. So unity is key. What we're seeing more of at this present moment is a drive that is separating people and is causing more friction and harm than it is good.
That's social media for you, though, Craig, isn't it?
But it's not just social media. You hear it in the stands.
Yeah, no, it predominantly is social media because everybody is a journalist nowadays.
But then that was also discussed. And people want to know, and also, you know, I asked the question, why are the press not involved more? And the simple answer to all of it was, they haven't got a story.
Yeah.
They need to have a story to be involved, right? And we saw at the weekend the demonstrations and the two lads on the pitch. That generated some press coverage. Not huge amounts, but some press coverage because something happened. But what, again, it also did was after the game, it was toxic. It was horrible. Inside the ground, outside the ground, across every single area that you could discuss the club, it was toxic. We've got people who have said, we're not taking our kids again because of what happened. We have, you know, Claire's mentioned the disabled fans. They've had to move because of what a couple of idiots, and that's all it is, a couple of idiots actually did. What did they gain? Nothing. Hopefully they gained a lifetime ban. But then you can't enforce a lifetime ban nowadays. No. So what difference has it made? But unity. The other things that we've discussed, right? Nick, you mentioned administration. The question was asked, could we, as fans, force an administration at the club? The answer is no. Clearly, the only people that can put a club into administration are the owners. And the owners
and let's assume we don't turn up for 10 games. Nobody turns up for 10 games, right?
Yeah.
Revenue is lost.
Who do we owe the money to, though, Nick?
The what, sorry?
Who do we owe the money to? We owe the money to the owners. We owe the vast
money's not
majority
coming
of the debt. Yeah, but it makes no difference.
Yeah.
They're not calling the debt in at this present moment. They're not going to call the debt in, because if they do, they end up losing themselves. And Chris mentioned it when we were discussing it the other week. If you get £1 for every 100, probably even £1,000 out of an administration situation, then that's good.
Yeah.
So putting them into administration creates more problems, right?
I wouldn't want it, because obviously you've got the massive points deduction, you've got you've got to rebuild literally from the bottom.
We wouldn't come back. And we all said the same thing. Administration just will not happen. Demonstrations, right? We're all talking about how we can demonstrate and go against the owners and show that we've got a dissatisfaction. The fact was, and Daniel Ivory was on the call with us, right? And he raised a really valid point, which is they're not there. So who are we demonstrating against?
Yeah, they're not there. That's the key thing. They're not there. No. They could be anywhere in the world. We don't know.
Exactly. China doesn't see what happens in St Andrews because it's not big enough. It's not in there.
Yeah, I had this with Ian Dan. Do you remember, Chris? We had this conversation with Ian Danta, and it's because Birmingham City aren't big enough, and we don't generate enough for them to sell the newspapers if they write a story.
Yeah. And they've got bigger problems in China than a football club that's not performing and needs to be sold and the fans are shouting a bit. You know, that's the simple facts. We then start turning on our own people.
Yep.
Right? So the amount of abuse that Ian Dutton, Craig Gardner, and other people who, for me, number one, they're Blues fans. They are equally hurting as much as what we are. Right? Why are we turning on these people? Craig Gardner may not be the best guy in the world to take us forwards and have that be-all and end-all job. But my God, he's got some players that have come through because of his contacts and because of his involvement. Right? So why do we need to turn on him? Why are we only seeing half of things when they're being reported, when they're being filmed? Right? People, look at the demonstration in front of the cop. Look at the amount of lads, that's all there were, lads who are holding mobile phones. Go and look at their Twitter accounts. Go and look at their TikTok accounts.
15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, 5 seconds of fame. What's the game? Nothing. No. Right? And I saw a video from a blogger, and the blogger missed the goal. Yeah. We should be back in the team. Instead, we were having rounds against people that aren't even there.
There's nobody there. There's nobody of any significance in those boxes.
No. And I am not saying do not demonstrate. Everybody has a right to. The final thing before I pass on to everybody else and get off my rants is we all also agreed that one of the things that happens at this present moment is when you hear of somebody saying, I don't want to do a march, or I don't want to demonstrate inside the stadium, or I don't want to be part of this and I don't want to be part of that, then the straight thing that comes out is, well, you're just up the backsides of the clubs and you're only interested in them and they're looking after you.
Yeah.
No. If I don't want to walk from Birmingham City Centre to St Andrews as part of a big gang of people shouting for the board to go, that doesn't mean I don't want the board to go. It doesn't mean I don't want new owners. What it means is I just don't want to be part of that. So everybody has a right to speak. Everybody has a right to take forwards their thoughts in their way. That's the strength. There is no strength in pockets of people doing little bits all the time because it doesn't take off. And in fact, it alienates others.
Listen, here's one for you, Craig. Do you remember Piegate, Mark? We got our book of pies back because there was a lot of people supporting that cause. And we got book of pies back where they should be, St Andrews, book of pies. Next one I want is the burgers around the street. So the council is going to be my next target because apparently it's nothing to do with Birmingham City Football Club. But to walk up to my football club and not smell a burger is criminal. It's I want the onions.
Kevin's just said that you don't see anything in the papers on Sunday morning. Even the papers are not interested in Birmingham.
They're not bothered.
No. You don't hear it about any of the other clubs.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You just don't hear it from anywhere else.
No.
And Claire, you travel home and away.
Yeah.
Right. So I'd be really interested, and I know we've had discussions, at the back of the stand, etc. But your thoughts on everything that goes on. You've spent probably way more money than Mark might come second, but I can honestly say you spent more money than me.
You spent more money.
So what's your thoughts?
Andrew, than Alan Watton and Chris Browne has spent on hair darkening products.
Go on, Claire.
What do I think?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I love going, and it's the people that do it. So, especially away games, like the people that go to away games, and a lot of it, even though we're playing awful, you will still meet somebody that you know. You can still have a drink with them. So it's more of a socialising thing now. Like, people go, we love it, we sing, but it's just so, it just makes you just feel so deflated when you go all that way. And like Bristol, for example, we started really well, bang, 4-2, and it was just like, oh, we got to go back home again. When you go away from home, it's a lot better than at home. You actually feel like you've been to a football match when it's away. Like, I'm really grateful I've got the her game, 2 girls that I see. I see the people who go on the party buses, you name it, they're brilliant. And that is the more social part. And I find that even like home games, so obviously like our block, our 2 rows, Craig, you know what we're like. We have a bit of banter, we watch the game, we chat, and then you go home. It's about being part of a family, part of a community.
Yes, the word.
Not just not just a football club. It's where you go to see people that you're going to see every week. Like we've got disabled people behind us, and they love it. Like, I mean, they do need to go back to Saturday at 3:00 so that everybody can join in, because not everybody can go at 7:45 on a Tuesday. Not everyone can go at 8:00 on a Friday, but that's down to Sky. But what we expect is that when you put that shirt on, you give us 110%. And if we lose, fine, I can take that. But if you look like you can't be bothered or look like you're not interested, then why should we be? But we will still go. That's the problem. And I think there's people who they dedicate. Like I go home and away because I love it and I can't not do it. But I think that it's the family, it's the socialising, it's meeting your friend, have a pint at the pub. It's, do you know what, mate? I'll see you. I'll see you off the train at 1:00 because that's what we always do. And it's a family. It's not just a football club. And I think because of how far they are away, the owners are, they don't get what we do, how it affects us. Like some people, we lose a game and it's like the end of the world for the whole week until they can go back again. Like Forest Green, we should be turning up to Forest Green and rolling them over. We basically played our first 11 and we can't do that. So if people are expecting us to beat Bristol City away in Preston and we can't do the basics at Forest Green, I mean, fair play, they played okay, but we were shocking. Like, we were terrible. So I think it's the socialising for me. I like going and seeing the people and I like to go and watch the football. But it's just at the moment, it's, 5 defeats on the bounce. You can't see where are we going to win next? Are we going to beat Blackburn in the FA Cup? I can't see it. I mean, I'm still going to go. Are we going to beat Swansea away? We never get a result there. It's... What changes are we? We looked at the bench, didn't we, Craig, and we went, who is going to come on and influence that game? Nobody. You can't see it. You're telling me there's not anybody in the under-23s? Our academy has brought in and through some brilliant players. You're telling me there's nobody, and I've seen on there everybody saying everybody's always injured for 2 weeks. Always 2 weeks. So what's going on with the injuries? Because Hall's been out. That was 3-4 weeks ago now. Gordon, where's he? He was okay. Where's he gone? He's disappeared.
Gone off the radar, hasn't he?
Yeah, where are they? Like, you've got a good academy. if they're that good, like Joe Bellingham, okay, everybody's saying he was better than Jude. Yeah, he's injured now, but why aren't, give him a chance? If Bakuna's giving the ball away and not doing the basics right, play some of James, for example.
Yeah.
Chang was brilliant against Forest Green. Brilliant. I don't know. There's things behind the scenes that aren't adding up. And we need to know as fans what's going on, because
you'll never find out, Claire, not ever. You will never find out. I promise. Those decided to make a second appearance tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and there she goes on again. Whatever goes on behind the scenes at Birmingham Football, you'll never know, mate.
No. As somebody said earlier, I think we are basically petty cash. We're petty cash for our owners,
We're waiting for Jude Bellingham to be sold. That's what we're doing. Yeah. We're waiting for Jude Bellingham. They will get the money.
Okay, Claire, do you know what the sell-on clause is for that? What percentage do we get?
I've heard, is it 5 or 10%?
Well, that's a big difference on £1 million.
I've heard 5%.
Right.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I tell you one thing that I've heard about this. If he gets sold to an English club, it's 5%. If he gets sold to a non-British club, it's 35%.
Oh, right.
That's what I read.
Wow.
That's what I read.
Yeah, and just to clarify, I think we've said it before as well, but a standard sell-on clause to anybody's contract within football is a standard 5%.
So if it goes to Manchester City, right, which is obviously a foreign club, as far as I'm concerned, do we get the 35%?
No.
No. You look at it this way, 5%, right? 5% is 5%, but nobody actually knows what else has been added on. That is the standard. And I agree. I think there's something in that sale that's going to do something. It's going to wipe out. It's going to, they'll take it to pay the debt. I mean, that's all it's going to do. It's going to go back into the debt and stuff like that. I'll put a question out there to the listeners now at this present moment, which is, if we can't get new owners at this present moment, then what would it take to help people in and around getting back to supporting that club more? So if we can't get new owners for 2 years, what do we need to do in between? Is it communication? Is it being open and honest around ownership? Is it what are they going to do with the club? What do people want to know? Because we all as fans want to hear the same thing, and we know that people from the club listen. So please stick it on the shout box. We'll read them out. Tell us what you want if we can't get new owners.
Can also say as well. I got accused today of towing the club line. We are the club. We are Birmingham City. We are the club, not the owners. We are the club. If the owners disappear, if St Andrews disappears, if it changes its name, we'll still be supporters of Birmingham City. We'll still be here. We are the club. Do you want to say that? There you go.
Yeah, but we're not in control, are we? We don't have that control. Not one of us. Not simply one of us.
No,
like,
I'm just saying. Whatever happens, Birmingham City will still be here, even if it's up there.
Will it?
Even if it's up there, it'll still be here.
That's
right. How long for, Chris? How long? Till our generation will die, and that's it. Game over.
Yeah. To answer Craig's question, what will it take? I actually believed in the first half of the season what it would take was happening. We'd signed some good players, exciting players. We got a manager that looked like he knew what he was doing and was motivated. We got some new input into the club with these two guys. And that, to me, was a massive step in the right direction. For once in the last 10, 11 years, as Nick says, I actually felt a little bit of optimism. Couldn't wait to get there. Couldn't wait to see these people play. And it's gone in a puff of smoke. In a puff of smoke. 5 past, and I go back to this 1 minute past 8 at Burnley, bang, 1-0. Christmas is over, you know, and it's gone on for the next 5 games, 6 games. I agree with Claire that, you know, grateful for the win, but we were pretty awful with it. The pitch was crap and whatever. But I genuinely had an optimism and a desire to see the club play, etc., 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 and it's gone. It's gone. And I have to say, Saturday was the final. Not Birmingham City's fault. It's Southern Rail's fault. But you know, I got to go to the next home game, which is the next Saturday game, and I can't even remember when that's going to be again. I've had to wait 3 months to get a Saturday. I've got to probably wait another 2 to get another one. Now, you know, I'm going to think back what happened to me on Saturday and think, is it worth it? Is it worth it?
Alan, quick question for you, buddy. Right, the whole day on Saturday, the whole day from you getting up in the morning to getting home, how much did it cost you?
How much?
Don't forget gets pensions rights.
The train fare was £38.50 return.
That's not bad, actually.
No, it's not. It's not
good,
bad.
Pretty good.
But it's
right.
Pensions.
Well, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Didn't you pay in gross?
The thing is, it's the cheap option. It takes a longer time. It's close to 5 hours each way. Now, Saturday, it was 7 hours there and 6 back. I had to walk from my last stop, right? The train didn't go that far. I had to walk because my car was parked at the next stop. I had to walk from Bexhill out to Collington, which is about 1.5 miles, at 11 o'clock at night. I
thought you lost weight.
I left here at 10 to 8 in the morning. I got back at 11.
Wow.
That's a long old day, isn't it?
So how much did it cost you all together the whole day?
Well, I'm
on about tickets, food, travel, everything.
I've got to see the tickets. So that's worth about 20 quid. 40 quid on the train. Food and drink, probably 25 quid. So there you are. It's close to 70 quid.
Yeah.
That was
that's doing it on the cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go the fast route, it costs me 68 quid, and I can get food and whatever, and it would cost me over 100.
Yeah.
But I'm not prepared to pay that anymore. No. You know, I've already got rid of my Sky. You know, I don't have that anymore, and I have to budget. And what I budget for is going to the match. That's my prime objective. Can I get to the match on Saturday?
Mate.
It's not a cheap day, anyway, is it, for working man's game?
You've got a competition, haven't you, tonight, mate?
Yeah, I have, but just before I go on to that, Nick, I just want to shout out some of the comments that have come on the shout box, and there's definitely a theme, right? And the theme isn't necessarily changing the owners at this present point. They all say the same thing, which is in the end, we want to change. But the thing that is overwhelmingly being shouted out by our viewers is communication. Yeah. And communication, not just around the ground and the current situation, but key areas such as what are the owners' plans for the club? You know, are we ultimately in 2 years' time up for sale? And everybody, we've said it before, everything's for sale at the end of the day if the price is right. So what are their plans?
Apart from your photograph, of course.
Yeah, of course. Then other areas, why have we got players that seem to be up for the fight 1 minute and then down the next? What can we as fans do to try and help that and stop that or find out ultimately what's going on? Football on TV is where the future is. It's come out so many times. People do stop going to the ground because it is so expensive to go to a game. Yeah. So, have they got to look at that? And then finally, the other one that's there is we just want them to be open and honest. Tell us what's
not the Chinese way. Not the Chinese way.
Yeah, be nice just to see them actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's they are.
The other thing that came out is who are our people?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Could you imagine them? Could you imagine
Well,
them all walking onto the centre circle?
Yeah. Who are you, for God's sake? Administration has been mentioned as well by Craig Rusin. He seems to say that it would be a good thing and it would open up to new owners. I'm not so sure.
Right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, it is now 1 minute to the last 15 minutes. And Claire, you've been with us tonight. I think you've been, wow, absolutely off the scale there. Right, superb. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, 1 minute straw poll. Do you want Claire here every week from here on the Tilton Talk Show? We haven't had a female presenter.
Oh, they're all saying no.
The first one ever. Won't talk about that though, because that's a bit of a sore subject as well.
No, they're actually all saying
really
yes.
good talk tonight. Craig, would you agree?
I'll tell you what, thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm at the back of the stand with Claire, so I know that we can have the serious conversations and the crack and the joke.
I think it's high time. We brought a lady, Claire's a lady, into the Tilton Talk every single week. Because
Great, you get to see me every Saturday and on here.
Claire, you know what I've detected in you tonight? All you care about is BCFC.
Yeah.
I do. I've even got a tattoo of it, so I can't.
Where?
You're not going to tell us where it is, are you? No.
Where's your tap?
Oh, that's
right
okay.
on the
That's
end of
okay.
the road.
There's mine.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Yes,
My
get
son's
Claire on
taking-
every week, says Chris Rowe. Michael Wood says, get her off. Stephen Gill says, yes, she's awesome. There we go. Those are the ones I can say. Okay.
Claire, now, would you join us every week?
I'm more than happy. I don't mind.
I didn't ask whether you're more than happy. I said you would join us every week.
Yes.
The
Okay,
enthusiasm
that's
was just overwhelming.
Right.
You don't get paid, though, just so you're aware. There's no payments.
fine. Craig, just buy me a drink over at the Blues. It's fine.
I don't even get a drink off Chris, so that's not.
Crikey, we haven't told Craig that about the payment scheme, have we?
The last
Oh dear.
15 minutes of the show, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. And as Claire, our new presenter, you don't get paid, by the way, sweetheart. You do
No,
not.
that's fine.
You don't get paid. This is not Birmingham City, mate. We don't give money away.
I wouldn't get any money anyway if it was Birmingham City, would I?
And actually, quickly, and on that theme, can I just say, we have never had so much as a Balti pie off the club.
No,
Nothing.
And that meeting, the meeting the other day.
But you know what? I actually wouldn't want them to give me a Balti pie
We've
because
never
the
had anything.
minute that I get paid for doing this, even if it's a Balti pie, it's never the same again. Never.
And we had a meeting. We had a
Never.
meeting with other supporters groups the other day, and I can honestly say
Okay,
that not one of them.
Because the boys,
had
we're the last
anything
15 minutes of the show. Claire Giblin has been with us tonight. She's going to come back next week. No, last 15 minutes of the show. Anything to do with the education system, ladies and gentlemen, from football?
Don't ask me any questions.
I had to do it. Anything to do with the education system, schools, colleges, universities, and football. Off you go. Please make me laugh. I've had a bad day.
There you
I
go.
can't. Craig, I can't see comments. So, mate, if you could crack on.
I'm watching them, don't worry. But yeah, I'll kickstart with Chalkboard Undoy.
Chalkboard and
Chalkboard
die.
and die.
So it's anything to do with education. The last 15 minutes. Anything to do with
I suppose you
education.
could go to the vending machine and get a hot chocolate. Whoa!
Harry, bring back the cane.
Harry Kane, yeah.
Harry, bring Harry the cane.
I like that one.
Dwight Chalk. Here's a good one. Dilly had a book and paper.
Riley Degree is another one that's come on.
Walter Pensilani. Lesson Dormer. Oh, dear.
Lesson Dormer from
That's
Jason.
very
Hughes,
clever.
that's good.
Very good.
Good on.
Jimmy Pencil Case. So I said that in 3 syllables so that Nick would understand.
I don't know how people do this every
I
week.
don't
You
know,
come
they're
up
very
with something
clever,
fresh.
aren't
It's brilliant.
I don't know where they're going from, and we're still waiting for Alan's that he comes
You
out.
can see the
He comes out
cogs
with one.
turning on Chris.
He comes
He's
out with
thinking
one
about
brilliant one, absolutely brilliant one every week.
Well,
you know.
Desk Bremner.
What about our goalie, John Studdy?
John Study, yeah.
I've got Desk Bremner.
Martin Grangehill, Lee Sharpener. Oh, he's a good one. Jonathan Playgrounds.
Who?
Jonathan Playgrounds.
Jonathan Blackgrounds,
Browns.
John.
What about John? What about John Climbing Frame?
Right.
No.
That one's just gone off, hasn't it? That one was appalling. Sorry.
Oh, that's quite good.
Probably, he has been sat down for a week trying to write that out.
Peter Inkelman. Oh, okay. Nick's ball across the playground. Messy mathematician. Biro Hughes.
No.
Jude School Bellingham. Yeah, so they're going off.
I've got it.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hang on, let's get the popcorn. Here we
Hang
go.
on, Chris. Can we have like an introduction?
Oh, I haven't got one ready. Sorry. Oh, you know what? I have got one. I'll get that ready for next time.
Colin
Okay.
Dinner Bell.
Colin Bell. Well done. Yeah.
Well, we've got Linda Ensor with the Tilton Chalk Show.
Oh, clever. It's not like her to be clever.
Oh, Auntie Linda. My God.
Oh. I'm just trying to think. I'm sure.
You're allowed to butt in and just go for it, though.
Oh, I've got a fanfare as well now. So if anybody else wants a good build up, let me know. Okay. Somebody on YouTube, Deli had a board rubber. Also, Chris Baker says Paul pencil case pescatolino. I can't say pescatolino. Maths Colin, very clever.
The London Stadium is the home of Exam United.
No.
Exam United.
Right, who's that? Yeah, that yours, Alan?
That's me. That's my.
What about Joe Hart?
Yeah, Joe Hart. Yeah.
We like Nigel Mann. Ollie got a gold star.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, from Nigel Mann. Ollie got a gold star.
That's the best one so far. Right, who was it from? Please tell me.
Nigel Mann. Who else?
Oh, I think I've wet myself.
Steve School Bull, eh? Steve Bully.
God. Stop.
Are Man United owned by the Blazers? Oh, so there he's thinking. At this time, I think we should say good luck to Mike Hill as well. He's had some bad news recently. Our friend over in South Africa, which is why he's not on this evening. All the best.
And also Ray Hobro's been going through the mill.
Yeah.
And Tony Hemmings as well.
Yeah.
You know, these are our family. These
it's all
people
good.
are
We're all family. Yeah.
Right, Craig, competition, what was it?
Yeah, so
yes.
Watch out for some details coming out over the next few days. We have basically arranged for what will be a mascot package for somebody at a Birmingham ladies game.
Sorry, was that a mascot package?
A mascot, nearly, Nick, nearly. But it will be a game we'll arrange closer to a date, etc. So we'll get all of that confirmed. But it will be a bit of a football card that we're running with all funds going to Help Harry, Help Others. Obviously a local charity with a big connection to Birmingham as well. So look out for details of that.
Amazing to see the tributes to Arthur over the weekend as well.
Fabulous. Yeah. It's just a shame it was a bit overshadowed, really, but what happened at the end of the game. But
But do you know what, Chris? That tribute was there at that time,
Yeah.
right? And whatever else happened didn't matter.
no, I think you're right. I think you're right, yeah.
We
Hello.
had quite a few more, Chris. Do you want to read them
Some
out?
good
Or
ones,
do you want
yeah.
me to?
So we got Trevor Hockey, we've got Ellen White board, Virgil van Dijk,
Virgil what?
Virgil van Dijk, somebody called Paul Hipkiss.
Well, I
put
could
that
tell
up,
you,
so I don't know.
Chris, but you didn't go to school like I did.
No.
Can't remember her name now.
Chris White board.
Virgil.
Yeah.
I think his surname was Van.
What about Paul Hipkiss's? Do we read out Paul Hipkiss's? You know,
Which one?
Yeah.
happy birthday, incidentally, Mr. Hipkiss.
I've just
Many
read
happy returns.
Oh yes, he's old, isn't he? He's old today.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Paul. Friend of the show. Will always be welcome back anytime.
Oh yeah.
And it's not every day that you turn 50, so congratulations. You know,
Really? Crikey, I thought he was a lot older than that. Right, okay, here we go. Kingsley backboard. Kenny Bunsen Burns. Razor Rubber.
What?
waiting for the reaction on that one.
What a name.
Bike Sheddy How. Virgil van Bike Shed
Oh.
then, says Paul Hipkiss. Lee Pencil Sharpener. Kieran School Trippier.
School trip.
Very good. Very good.
Claire, come on, you're not contributing yet, mate.
I'm
Or you just shove it-
I'm just sat here
Or you
just
seriously
taking
worried
it
that you're
all
gonna lose
in.
your job
Claire,
tomorrow?
you're the one intelligent person among 4 people.
I can't think of any.
About
Oh, Browne
Board
was
Mark
one.
Award.
Kevin-
that one goes down.
Kevin Swimming Pool, says Pete Taylor. That's a good one, yeah.
Science Labyrinth. That's very good as well.
Oh, I can't hear you. You've got
I'm
on
going to go
funny.
for Assembly Bonga.
You could have like Ben Sharpie.
Yeah, go
Well
for it,
done,
yeah.
well done.
I'll give okay.
Well done, Claire. You got one in the end.
There you go. I've got one in.
Wasn't very good, but you managed to get one in there.
I'm
Yeah.
going to work all day. That's why I'm trying not to think about it.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
Practice for next week.
Yeah, yeah.
I will.
yeah.
When I know what I'm
Must do
doing.
better.
Right.
As always on my report. Must do better. Ricky Otto Level. Jonathan.
Ricky what?
Ricky Otto Level. Ricky Level. Otto Level.
Otto level.
Ricky Otto Level.
O
Otto
level.
O level.
Yeah, clever.
Oh,
Too clever.
Otto.
Much too.
Otto.
Much too
Otto.
clever. David Mini Bust. David Bust. Mini.
What?
David School Bust. I think has he got the wrong one?
Of course, he had a massive break.
David Bust is trying to.
Bust. Of course, yeah.
I'll give
I
you
got the wrong
one.
glasses.
George Hall.
George Hall.
Oh,
Yeah, George. You could have said
Yeah,
George
but
School.
Could've gone
George School Hall.
George Sports Hall.
Yeah, School
George
Hall.
Hall, yeah.
What about
How we
report-
think, Claire. This is how we think in the last 15 minutes.
I know.
Oh.
You guys could have told me this was going on. That's what I'm with you.
I use the term think very loosely.
Can I say one?
Oh, brilliant. Well done, mate. Well done.
What about report Vale?
Oh, that's clever.
Ooh, good.
Oh,
Well, you're thinking too clever, Mark.
Mark,
Right.
Coventry,
could have had
you
this.
shouldn't even be that intelligent.
You could have Forest School Green.
Oh, yeah.
oh
yeah,
God,
yeah,
look, we
yeah,
can't
yeah.
shut her up now.
You know how Craig feels on a Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going to cry in a minute.
Peter Shirtlift. Hey? No, that's wrong. I got that wrong. Pat Leggins.
Jason Hughes.
I'm glad you did, actually, Chris.
I can't say some of these.
If the Tilton Talk television would be archived and put in the, that little category. Bloopers.
Jason Hughes has come up with a great one with a Louis CSE.
Oh, yeah,
Very
okay.
clever. That's very clever, isn't it? Yeah, we've had Kevin Swimming Pool. Well done.
Paul Hipkiss has come up again with Daily Adarola.
He had
He
ruler.
had a what?
Had a
Daily
ruler.
Adarola.
Ruler.
Ruler.
I like that.
Have we had
Oh,
Jim
my
Smith?
God.
Yeah,
Jim
we've got
Smith.
Jim Smith. Jim
Yeah.
Smith. Yeah.
Oh,
Here's a good one. Jonathan Ofsted Inspector. Jonathan. Oh wow, that is brilliant. That is brilliant. There we go. Brilliant. Fantastic.
Name of the game. Who was that one?
That's come from Jack Stables.
That for me, that's the winner so far.
Very clever.
It's down to the rest of the team, but that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Promaldo.
Yeah, Prom Aldo.
Yeah,
Prom.
well, we all kind of looked bemused at that one.
Yeah. I'm trying to
From,
make it sound better than
Saunders
it
is
is.
good as well.
It is, yeah.
Prom
yeah.
Saunders.
What was it? Great, Tony. What?
Oh, it was Prom Saunders from Jason
Prom
Hughes.
Saunders.
Yeah.
What do you write? Because I can't see it.
Have you noticed it takes all of us at least 2 or 3 seconds before anything, absolutely anything, sinks in?
Yeah, but we're all mobile.
And then there's Nick, and it takes another 2 seconds.
2 seconds. Nice one, mate.
That's all
Well,
right. That's all
How
right.
about Tony Textbook?
Tony Book.
Tony Book.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, see, we're back to my era now. I mean,
Did Claire
sitting
send
there
you a private message?
You are, yeah.
Steve has just said, don't forget the Arthur shirts are being auctioned off. Absolutely fantastic.
Ray Hobro said Eric Cantina.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Raimondo, say pretty quick for a pint.
And Brett Stanley, Sports Day, Vid Beckham.
Sports Day. Oh, very
That's
clever.
good.
Yeah, I've just got that one. Nick, I think we're about there, mate.
That actually went right over the top of my head. I don't know why.
I think we're about there. Good night, everybody. I think it is, Nick.
Yeah, you know what? It's 7:08. You know what? I wish we could do this on such happier, like, terms, and I really do. I mean that from the heart of my bottom. What a team we've had in tonight! Brilliant. I've loved it. Absolutely great. You know what? Alan Watton, chairman of the board. Thank you so very much. And you know what? You're a rock, mate. Traveling 7 hours up to those. You're a rock.
Yeah, that's just a home game. Blackburn's 300 miles from here.
Yeah, so mate.
Yeah, but you've got your private helicopter. Stop moaning.
Yeah.
Wish I had. I wish I had. I would be there then.
Do you know what? One of the best friends I've ever had in my life, Chris Brown. Good night. God bless
Good night. You're getting rid of me.
Oh, mate, we spent time together. We've laughed together. We've loved together.
Well, we ain't done that bit.
Crazy.
Good night, everyone. And I think I might be leaving you with the winner because we have had Brian rob someone's dinner money.
Quick, because I need the toilet.
It's too late for me.
Who was it?
That was Jason Hughes.
Jason, that is superb. My old mate, Mr. Robe.
Oh,
Look
that's
at those,
me, yeah.
mate. You know what? Take good care, my friend. Have a great week. And
Oh well, and you, Nick. I'll see. I'm going to Blackburn, so I might see people around.
And our star of the show tonight, well, it's me. Good night, God bless. Thank you. Claire, you have been an inspiration. Look, I promise you.
Okay.
Right? We are not gender-centric on this show. I don't care whether women come on, blokes come on, or whoever comes on. Right? I don't care. Neither does any of this team here.
No. We have everybody.
Well, you know, we need to be a bit careful, Chris, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And she's a teacher because she's educated. Can't wait for you to be back on the show next week because tonight you've been absolutely superb. Team, would you agree?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
100%. 100%.
They're brilliant. And I mean it, absolutely brilliant, mate. And let's just really hope that we've got better times ahead because we do this and then we end up laughing for the last 15 minutes and you know what? We'll end up crying for the next week.
Well, we got Blackburn on Saturday, so anything can happen.
Mm.
We've got to go optimistic, don't we? So
Yep,
let's see
3-0,
what
3-0.
happens.
And we won't drop another point in January, I promise you.
It's a great point, that is. That is a great point.
I tell you what, Claire, do not have that man as a mathematician at your school ever.
Don't worry.
Holly Williams says, "Go Claire Giblin." There you go. There's
So
your
this
fan.
is the Tilton Talk lineup. It's Alan Watto, the lovely Claire Giblin, Chris Browne,
Thank you.
Mark Adams, the Fixer.
No.
Recording myself. Good night, God bless, take care. Sponsored by Boylesports, ladies and gents. Principal sponsor of Birmingham City Football Club. We'll be back here next Monday at 6:30. Please, let's hope.
Thanks for joining us. You've been listening to your Tilton Talk Show.
Even if it's a beef burger.